Can we just take a moment to actually talk about what's about to happen in the summer season? Now, everyone's so focused on spring, they don't realize that summer is an even more insane season. Like, yes, spring season, as per usual, pretty good season. A lot of returning sequels people like, some new entries you can peek that maybe you never even heard of, and you're going to enjoy it. But people aren't ready for summer and the god number of returns, like big returns, meaning we might not have time to even watch the new shit. Like, this is actually insane. We're going to have the continuation of Slime carrying him. Mushoku Tensei's coming back. ReZero. I'm not sure if ReZero actually aired, because I think this is supposed to be, like, split up into batches. But even if we ignore ReZero, Trapped in a Dating Sim, I haven't watched this yet, but it's supposed to be dumb fun, so I might check this out eventually. Demons of Shadow Realm still continuing. Iruma-kun's going to still be continuing. Saga of Tawny the Evil coming back after a decade. You have Skeleton Knight in Another World, which, yes, maybe not be as big as some of these other shows, but still a pretty enjoyable Great East Sky returning. Bookworm will be continuing. Bleach is coming back. From Old Country Bumpkins coming back. 100 Girlfriends coming back. Clevadis is coming back. These are just sequels and carryovers. And these are all shows that relatively people care about. So let's just say 4, 8, 12, 13 sequels that are either carrying over from this current season or coming back. That is someone's anime workload right there. And then you have all these new shows that people are going to want to watch, and it just becomes insane. Like, hell, even Elusive Samurai. This is like a really great example. Elusive Samurai, I really like season 1. I'm probably going to have to sleep on it for a bit because it's not enough people are going to care about it in comparison to other shows. Oh yeah, Hell Mode's coming back too. Grand Blue's coming back. I didn't hear. Oh, you and I are polar opposites. See, like, it's such a packed fucking season for sequels. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do it. And then you got the new stuff that I'm really excited about. Tomb Raider King. You got the new Ghost in the Shell. Surely that's going to get slept on. A Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even. This is a new villainess show that kind of looks pretty fun. I think it's a villainess show. Whatever. Either way. I don't know how we're going to do it, guys. Oh yeah, look at this. This is the most diabolical thing. The Science Sarah show, Witch in Mongolia, fucking buried in terms of popularity right now because there's just so much shit happening. Like, look at this season. Like, I'm not saying spring isn't a good season. I think spring is a good season. But with the way people are acting, I think the only reason some people are realizing, oh, there's a lot of good stuff to watch is because some of their favorite shows have come back, like ReZero, Slime, Classroom of the Elite, Wistoria. And they're like, oh, here's some other shit that's also happening. But in general, every season has good shit, man. Like, seriously. Winter had Frieren, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, Sentenced to Be a Hero, Fire Force, Jack of All Trades, Ocean Ko, Noble Reincarnation. Like, there was a lot of really good stuff, okay? That always happens, but there's something specifically about summer that I'm actually terrified of. Because it's one thing to have a handful of good returns. Okay, that's fine. That's enjoyable. But it's another when there's too many returns that I can already tell there are going to be some sequels I'm going to have to ignore just because my audience will care more about some new stuff. Because it does make sense. Like, let's take Iruma-kun as an example, right? This show is on season 4. As much as I like the show, I understand not a lot of people are going to be willing to binge 3 seasons of a show to get caught up to a 4th when they can just watch a brand new isekai and probably get roughly the same amount of enjoyment. Because even if I really like it and I think, hey, it is a cut above some average isekai, you know, your average person probably won't feel that. Mushoku Tensei is a little bit of a different beast. ReZero is a bit of a different beast. These are some of the biggest names in the industry still. People were more willing to get caught up to those, or the audience is loyal enough to continue to watch it. Stuff like Skeleton Knight, Season 2, and Old Country Bumpkin Season 2 potentially have an audience, but I am also not going to be surprised if I don't have an audience to do it, and I'll have to wait to cover these. I mean, my goal, like, what usually happens, right, is we have the Patreon. Everything I watch, which in general, right, we have to keep in mind, I watch on average 20 to sometimes like 23 seasonal anime, and I watch everything on Patreon. As long as I watch it and enjoy it, it's on Patreon. YouTube, you know, 12 to 15 shows might get covered regularly at a regular interval, but you know, ultimately you got to focus on what you got to focus on. Patreon's my bread and butter. It's what pays the bills and makes the most money. So, getting a couple thousand views on a smaller show, doesn't really value me past the first couple videos. The issue I'm seeing already with the summer season is there are shows I naturally would want to cover and would be able to cover on Patreon that I might have to say no to, like Elusive Samurai. Like, I was looking over my analytics on Patreon for, like, how many people watched the Elusive Samurai stuff, which I knew it wasn't the biggest show for my YouTube, but even Patreon's not, like, it's not going to be a huge watch there either. So it's like, okay, I know, it's like what I'm doing with Fire Force right now. I didn't watch Fire Force in the previous season because my audience doesn't give a fuck about Fire Force. And it pains me. It really does. I've been loving it since season 1. So now I am watching the final season. I do roughly 2 episodes a week on Patreon, catching up to the last core, finishing it up, right? But even then, like, it's weird being in a position that I'm in, right? Because my job is incredibly easy. Any content creator who says, oh my god, we have such a hard job, no. You can have a tiring job being a content creator, but it's not a hard job, right? Unless you're doing, like, the nitty-gritty editing. No. At the end of the day, it can be tiring, but it does get frustrating when you're like, damn, there's only so many hours in the day, and in order to continue to be entertaining for reactions and content, I have to have the energy and mindset to do it. And I don't just watch seasonal anime. I have usually 12 non-airing shows going as well in my premium tier. So it's like, there's only so much mental bandwidth I have. I'm very precise. I'm very schedule-oriented. So I'm able to be boom, 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 5-6 hours a day, and I'm in and I'm out and I'm gone. But this new season has me concerned. I'm like, damn, there's so many big sequels that I'm going to have to check out that even the sequels I want to check out, I might not. And then it's like, okay, but then what about all these new shows? It is going to be, I think, I'm going to put a bold prediction. This is going to be the hardest season, not only for me, but for many people figuring out what the fuck they're going to watch. Now, the people who say no, it won't, I can tell you what's going to happen, okay? They're just going to pick their big dogs, their Mushoku Tenseis. They're going to keep watching their Slime, their Demons of the Shadow Realm. Probably pop back up for Saga of Time of Evil and Bleach. And they'll be like, see, it was easy. But what's ending up happening is you're skipping out on a lot of quality shows, because I think Old Country Bumpkin or Skeleton Knight were really, like, they were cut above your average run-of-the-mill fantasy department. But then all these other shows, like this Rich Girl Caretaker, I dove into it a little bit. Looks really funny. Probably can't watch it, though. I don't know, it could be a generic isekai slot, but maybe it'll be good. Fucking hell, gonna have to sleep on Elusive Samurai. Hell Mode, I love that. I'll make time for that no matter what, because fuck you guys, that show is awesome. Tomb Raider King probably will be okay. Ghost in the Shell, I believe, has a 50-50. Either people really care about it, or will really sleep on it. This is just absolutely disrespectful. This should be in the top 3 lines for sure. But it's not, because fuck us. Insane looking upcoming season. We'll probably dive into it later because there'll still be more stuff. But I had to make a video. Like, summer, it has me concerned, man. There's too many sequels. There's so many sequels, I can't even watch all the sequels. So then what the fuck do I do when it comes to the new shows? We're fucked, guys. We're absolutely, it's a good problem to have, but it's still frustrating nonetheless. But yeah, you can let me know your thoughts. Like, what do you think of the upcoming summer season if you've already kind of took a look, or what I just showed you? What shows do you think you're already going to have to sleep on for a bit and come back to later? Because there's got to be at least one. For me, I know Elusive Samurai is going to be one of them, but I'm sure there's going to be even more than that. But let me know your thoughts on the upcoming season. Head on over to the Patreon, catch everything we're watching, because like I said, we only do a condensed version over here on YouTube, but we do a whole fucking lot. We average 5 uploads a day over on Patreon. There's a lot of shit we're watching, so do consider supporting. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you all in the next one. Holy fuck, summer's looking insane.